In the span of, I can say, 1 or 1.5 year, I managed to solve I think 1,000 problems on lead code. Actually, giving Indeed interview was also very challenging for me because I didn't find any material online where I can like go through some past interview experience. So basically, giving so many interviews before like cracking these four interviews, like for Flipkart, ShareChat, TokoPedia, and Indeed, uh, I got to know like what was like where I was lacking.
Hello everyone. Today we have with us Ankit. He was my colleague at Geeks for Geeks, and today he is here with us to share with us his intro experience with Indeed, ShareChat, and many other companies that he has cracked. Hi, Ankit.
Yeah, hi Shashank, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
So
So first of all, it's a great accomplishment solving so many good companies at a streak. So we'd love to hear about how was your preparation journey and interview experiences.
yeah, pretty excited to like share all my like experience, how I cracked it and how I prepared for it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can start with your introduction.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Ankit Kumar and currently I belong from Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. And right now I'm working as a software engineer one at Indeed.com. Before that, I was working as a SD1 at Geeks. So I worked there for 1 year. And about my college, so I did my college from from my city only, Lucknow. So it was like average college, yeah, you can say. It provided me a environment and everything. Like, yeah, I had like good peers, so I was able to like know like what I should do and all. And along with that, so in my free time, like yeah, I like to like watch animes and do like watch Netflix, like every other folk does.
Yeah, that is there. And also, I think your peers groups and all you guys used to participate in ICM, ICPC, and all that. That exposure was
Yeah.
right.
So yeah, I have been to ICPC like 2 times. So first
Mm.
time I was like in second year, I guess. Yeah. Then I went to ICPC Kanpur, and in my fourth year I went to Amritapuri regionals. So yeah, in third year like I tried, but I didn't manage to like crack it. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
we know
go.
that
And
reason. It happened same with me also. I also did second or fourth year. Third year, it happened like the first question was so messed up. Many people,
yeah. I actually I still remember that problem, like
yeah.
where we have messed up and what was the problem statement. Like after like
Mm.
just after the uh,
Mm.
co contest ended, like we know, oh, this is what we have to do.
Yeah,
But that was all past now.
you're right. Yeah. So you can start with your interview experience.
Yeah, so we can start with Indeed. So in Indeed, I think I have 6 interview rounds. So okay, so I can start how I like got to know about it and how I applied. So basically, I got to know about it through their Indeed app. So basically, I was just going through their job portal and I got to know like they were hiring. So I applied from there also. But after applying, I'd also directly messaged the HR. So the HR like pretty quickly like responded. Like just I just messaged her and within a minute she replied. And after like 4 to 5 minutes, we had a like chat. So she asked about my experience and all. And after 1 week, we scheduled our first interview. So the first interview was held on carrot.com. So basically, it was an elimination round. So like what happens in other companies, basically they do an OA, right? Online assessment. So here it is a little different. Basically, in carrot.com, basically there will be a third party engineer who will be taking your interview. So in my case, like the interview was for 1 hour. So for the first 10 minutes, I think we talked about like my introduction and what is my work experience and all. After that, he asked me 3 problems. So the first problem was on string. It's pretty straightforward. Just I had to like just read the problem statement and I had to write the code. So that is what I did. The second problem was a dynamic programming problem. So not only dynamic programming, along with that, I also had to do backtracking to fetch the answer. So that was the second problem. You can say it is a hard level problem. and the third problem was basically an implementation heavy problem. So while I did two problems, like already 50 minutes or was passed, like 50 or 55 minutes was passed, and I was left with like 5 to 10 minutes. Still, the interviewer asked me to like go through it, like whatever I can do. So yeah, in like 2 to 3 minutes, I stated him like how I'm going to solve the problem, and in I think 1 to 2 minutes, I like try to write as much code as I want to. Like the problem was not that hard; it was just implementation heavy. So after giving this round, I think after 2 or 3 days, I got the email that I have cleared this round. So the second round was held, I think after, I don't remember actually, but I think it is on the next week. So on the next week, so basically this that round was also an elimination round. So the interview, like it started usually like your introduction. Then he asked me a problem. So the problem was on graphs. S- So he started with an easy version. So I like in the 10 to 15 minute, I was able to like tell my approach and write the code. After that, he moved on to the follow-up problem, which was pretty hard. Actually, the implementation part and the solution part was not that hard, but like figuring out what is the time complexity of it was pretty tricky. But the interviewer was very helpful. Like he showed me some images, so I was able to do it. So that was my second round. And I think after 2 to 3 days, I like got the reply from the HR that I have cleared that round. So after that, like the last four rounds were scheduled to happen in a single day. So from 10 to I think, yeah, it is happen on the same day from 10 to 3, I guess. So the first round, that is the third round, was basically a whiteboard round, basically a DSA round. So again, the interview, like it started with an introduction, and he asked me a problem on string. So basically, the problem was basically about to like we have a string and we had to like filter that string based on some conditions. So that was what I did. The difficulty level was medium. So I started with the brute force and move on to the like most optimized one. So that is the third round. And after like 15 to 20 minutes, the fourth round was happened. It was again a whiteboard round, aka DSA round. So again, the interviewer like came and started with the introduction and asked me the problem statement. Usually they ask only one problem in every round. So the problem was basically based on array. It was medium difficulty problem. So actually the problem that he asked me, I have never like solved that kind of problem in my like till now. So it was quite challenging for me. So yeah, the interview was very helpful. He like we basically, you can say from my point of view, this round was like hard, as well as I really enjoyed it also because we were just like communicating and trying to solve the problem. So that is what I did. So after this round, I had a code review round. So what happened at Indeed. So whoever like whoever is interviewed for SD role, they have to go through a code review round. So basically, you have to choose a language. So in my case, I choose Java as a language, and they will give you 80 to 100 line of code which you have to debug basically. So you have to like find if there is any bug, if you can make any optimization, or is there anything you can do to like make it more readable. So that was all in that. So that round was also of 1 hour. So for the first 15 minutes, we talked about our introduction. He told me what he does, what I do, and after that he asked me some behavioral questions around code review round. So so it was not like what they ask in a hiring manager round. It was basically they were asking me some behavioral questions around like code review, like how do you review a code based on this parameter, based on that parameter, like what should we look for and all that. And like this happened for the first 30 minutes, and the for last 30 minutes he like shared me a file, a Java file where I have to debug the code. So basically it happened on GitHub. So I just had to add the comment, and after that, like this round ended. And after I think there was 15 to 20 minutes of break. After that, there was the last round, which they call closed interview. So the director of engineering basically took this round. He asked about me, like how, why I want to join Indeed, like all the basic behavioral questions, like why they are hiring, what they are expecting me to do, like which team I'm going to work for. So yeah, this is all about the Indeed round.
Mm. Nice. I think it's very unique compared to other companies.
Yeah, actually, giving Indeed interview was also very challenging for me because I didn't find any material online where I can like go through some past interview experience. So yeah, so basically I just like I was just confident around like what I have prepared, and yeah, that's what I did.
Got it. Nice. Yeah. So next, which company you want to share your experience about?
We can go with ShareChat. So for ShareChat, basically I have taken a referral from my friend of friend. So after I think 2 to 3 weeks, I got a online assessment link. So it happened on HackerEarth itself. So I think I don't remember, but I think it was for 1.5 hour round. So there were only two problems. One was based on array. It was pretty simple. And the second problem was quite tough. It is a mixture of DP and graph itself. So like it took me like 30 to 40 minutes to just solve the last problem. So yeah. And after 1 week, I got the call from the HR that I have cleared the round and they are like going to schedule the interviews. So the first interview which was held for me is DSA round. So the interviewer asked me three questions and it was for 1 hour. So the first question was around arrays. So the problem was, you can say, easy to medium level problem. So, and the second problem was also based on array. It was a medium level problem based around like we have to use some sliding window concept and all. And the third problem he asked me was basically a matrix, like basically a matrix level problem. It was a quite hard problem. So yeah, this is what happened in the first round. And usually in ShareChat, you also have a low level design round, but they skipped that round for me. I don't know why. And after this, I had my last round, which is hiring manager round. So basically, I talked to the manager who was I am going to work under. So he told me like what problems they are facing and why they are hiring, some behavioral questions, like what other companies generally ask. And one thing that he asked, which I really like, was he was facing some problem like that the team was trying to solve. So he wanted my overview of it. So we had a pretty good talk about it. So yeah, that was
Oh.
about my share chat round. So the next company I would like to talk about is Tokopedia. So for Tokopedia also, I took a referral from someone have posted, like one of the guy have posted about the opening on LinkedIn. So I just messaged him like I'm looking for a job change and all. So he gave me a referral, and I think it took 2 to 3 weeks to actually get a reply from the HR, and I managed to like schedule the interview. So the first interview round was DSA round. So the interviewer asked me two problems. The two problems you can say of medium level problem. We had a good discussion of the approach which we are going to solve. And after that, right, yeah, I write the code and all. So like every interview experience which I'm going to tell you, the introduction part is common. Like every round starts with an introduction. So I'm going to skip. So this is what happened, and after 3 to 4 days, I got the reply from HR that I have cleared that round. And second round was also DSA round. So the second round also contained like two problems, and those two problems were also like medium level problems. So actually, I don't remember it, but one of them was based on recursion, like it was a good level recursion problem, and the other one of like a matrix problem, like graph on matrix. So that is about the second round. After 2 to 3 days, I got the like HR contacted me and told me I cleared this round. So the last round was hiring manager. I think the hiring manager was from Indonesia, I guess. I don't remember, but it was taken by some foreigner. So he asked me like why I want to join, and like he asked me really good questions to me, like what challenges I'm facing in this COVID time, like how it is affecting like the job, how are you going to like whatever you have learned, how you are going to apply it in your next job and all. So yeah, basically this round was basically a one-to-one conversation round. So yeah, that was about my Tokopedia round.
Okay.
And the last interview experience is for Flipkart itself. So for Flipkart also, uh, I know someone, so I asked him to refer me. So actually, after taking the referral, I think it took around 1 month to got the interview schedule. So the first round is basically the machine coding round. It happened for 2 hours. The problem state, like the interview came and gave me the problem statement. For the first 30 minutes, discussed the problem statement, what he was expecting and all. And for the 1.5 hours, I was like, he gave me time to just code it up. So he like in the starting, he told me like what he was expecting. Like he was expecting me to like follow all the OOPS concept. The problem should like the code should be running and all. It should pass all the like it should also handle the corner case, whatever like I can write in those like limited time. So yeah, after this, I think on the next day I got to know I cleared this round. So I had my DSA round. So in the DSA round, the interviewer asked me two problems. One was I think based on stack, and other was based on like it was a hard like data structure problem where I had to design a data structure. So that was all. And in the evening itself, I got to know about it. Like I cleared this round. So the last round was for hiring manager. So the hiring manager like asked me like how did my last round go, like have gone and what I would have improved and all. He also asked me some like in my coding, like in machine coding round, I have used a singleton pattern. So he asked me what it is. He wanted me to like write it down. So I shared my screen and write the pattern in the Sublime text itself. Then also like he told me like why he was hiring, what he was expecting and all. Yeah. And after I think on the next day itself, I got to know like I cleared the round.
Okay. How was the procedure you followed? Like you applied to multiple companies at the same time, or you went in sequence, like as one by one?
Yeah. So it was quite interesting how I like started applying. So basically, I was not looking for a job change. So what happened was, uh, one of the browser stack HR like contacted me that they are looking for some engineers, and if you are interested, then you can like take part, like you can participate. So yeah, I just like, so I also wanted to see if I can crack it. So yeah, I like move forward with it. So in the browser stack, there were like I think 3 to 4 rounds, but in and the first round was based on OA, so I cleared it. Second was machine coding, I cleared it. Second round was also machine coding, but in that round I got rejected. So after
Okay.
that, so then I thought like let's try to like manage to get interviews from other companies and let's see if I able to crack it or not. So at that point of time, I was not looking for the job also, but I was just want to see like if I managed to crack it or not. So after that, so before applying, what I did, so I just made a list of the companies which I wanted to join. So back from my college days, I have few companies in my mind which I wanted to work for. So I made a list and started applying, started contacting people on LinkedIn, and yeah, started applying on the careers page. So this is how I started. So all the interviews that I have given, so almost all of them were via referral. I got the interview, and few of them were through like I directly contacted the HR. This is what happened. And like for some of them, the HR like HR contacted me like himself. So that is what happened for
Okay.
the interview rounds. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and if you're yeah, and maybe some of the interviews where you had rejection, right? Like you might have learned some new learnings from there and worked upon those things, which will be benefited for in the further rounds, maybe. So, can you share some instances, like maybe with Licious or Browser Stack? What did you learn in those
yeah,
rejections?
so basically I have also appeared for Licious, but I got rejected on the like second round. Like after OA, I got rejected. So yeah, like I got to know like where I was lacking and I prepared for it. And for the browser stack round, I got to know that my machine coding round, like it was very pretty challenging for me because I have never prepared for it. So I basically giving so many interviews before like cracking these four interviews, like for Flipkart, ShareChat, Tokopedia, and Indeed. Uh, I got to know like what was like where I was lacking and
Right.
what I needed to prepare. So
Right.
before applying for the next companies, I like took some time to uh, to prepare, like to overcome those like where I am lacking, and after that I started applying. And it was not like and at the same time I was applying for multiple companies at the same time, because you never know like how many, like for how many companies you will get the call and how many of you will be able to crack. So all these four companies that I have cracked, uh, I was like giving interviews parallelly.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, how did you manage preparation while you were working for a full time?
Yeah, so basically every evening I have set aside a time. So for me it was between 10 to 2 a.m., 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So in these 4 hours I was applying, I was preparing, and I was like figuring out which companies are I'm going to applying for and what I have to prepare for. Yeah.
So, how many
And
problems did you solve before? Yeah.
so in the span of I can say 1 or 1.5 year, I managed to solve I think 1,000 problems on lead code, around 1,000. I don't remember the like how many are there. And I have also solved few problems on Geeks or Geeks also. Yeah. And I also use some pretty strange websites also, a1code.com and other websites where I solve few problems. Like wherever, like I just had I just had a plan, like I have to solve problem based on this. Wherever I got uh, good questions, good problems, I just go there and solve. So basically, Geeks or Geeks and LeetCode are the two platforms which I mostly used.
Yeah, like how do you manage to be motivated consistently practicing while you are working?
So in weekends, I usually take breaks also. It's not like there is weekend, so I will like grind, daily grind. So if like today, if I don't want to like prepare, I just don't do it. This is like what I followed. Because if you are preparing for so long, and yeah, you will get frustrated also. So it is also important for you to know like when there is a limit, you should stop or you should take a break. So yeah, I did it. I was doing everything pretty much, managing my job, preparing for interviews, watching like movies, all the things. It was not like I've been isolated. I was doing just my I was just doing my job and preparing. This is not the only two thing. I like done a lot of things which I feel it was good for me to be productive.
Right. I think the key is that the duration being considered over the span of 2 years was really important.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So, how are you managing to schedule multiple interviews, like which are applied parallelly, right? So, while you are working full time, how are you managing?
Yeah, so for the last four companies, Flipkart, Indeed, and Tokopedia, ShareChat. So these are the four companies which I had to like make a contact with them parallelly. Before these, all the companies that I have prepared for or appeared for, like I was giving like this, like I have appeared for one interview, it is over, then managed for other interview. So asynchronously, I was going for this four only.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the learnings that you had like throughout your engineering journey?
Yeah, so basically before doing engineering, I didn't do any programming at all. Even when I joined in my from second year, I got interested in programming. So I can say my college friends are very like motivated, and I can say I have a very good uh, friend group in my college. So one of them knew about competitive programming, so he introduced us. We started it, and we like liked it. So after doing like competitive programming, we got to know about ICPC, and also we also participated in, and I managed to go for ICPC 2 out of 3 times. So it was also a good experience for me. good exposure.
Right.
Yeah,
So probably ICPC is something Tier 3 students can exploit, right? Because it is shortlisted based on internal competition. How many people from the same
yeah,
college are
yeah,
competing?
yeah, 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 yeah. You can
Right.
say belonging from tier 3 college was, in terms of ICPC, it was like had an advantage because there were not many teams who I have to compete for.
Hmm.
Uh, in like if you talk about tier 1 college, there have a lot of teams, so it is pretty hard to like crack ICPC. But you can
Right.
say ICPC is one of the advantage.
So for referral, how did you follow? Did you have a standard template that you used for all the cases, or how did you do?
So with my referral process, I was pretty straightforward. So I just, if I have to do an email to a person, so I just write about 2 to 3 achievements of mine and I just provide the link of the job and ask them for the referral itself. And in for LinkedIn, I was also like pretty straightforward. I just give my name, introduction, and then in 1 to 2 points, I try to like tell them my achievements,
Hmm.
and then I provide them the job link. Like, yeah, this is where I want to, like, want a referral. If you will be able to provide one, like,
Yeah.
ask it nicely.
Hmm. Right. Uh, yeah. So how many requests that you used to send like per day or per week?
So basically, the request I was sending it is based on the company. So suppose I was like for ShareChat or you can say in Tokopedia for other companies which I was applying for. So I just used to select the company I want to apply for, and
Hmm.
then I like find all the people who are working there. Basically, the catch was that like I was trying to approach the people who were usually you have started the job recently, like in 1 or 1.5 years. So mostly I try to approach them first, and after that, if it doesn't work, then I go to like for the people who are experienced more than 2 to 3 years. So
Hmm.
that is the trick I applied.
Hmm.
Maybe
So
it
the
is not.
logic is probably they those people will be more active on LinkedIn and more likely
Yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
exactly, exactly. Because I have seen like if like someone have more year of experience, they will not be like more active on LinkedIn because they have pretty much a lot of stuff to do related to job, related to their personal life. But the young folks are more like
hmm.
active. So I feel I had a good like chance to get a referral or get a reply from them. And I did. For the same job, I think I got 2 to 3 reply back. So
Hmm.
I have taken one referral from one of them and informed them, yes, I got the referral and thank you for like considering and all.
Yeah, so we see that all the four companies are really great and a good offers. So, what two factors did you consider to make a decision like which will be the great fit for you?
Yeah, I feel all the companies was great. The work they were doing was good also. I felt with Indeed, the work they were doing and the team they are forming, I felt it was more aligned towards my goal also. And one of the points also is that I had option to choose full-time remote flexibility or full-time in office. So I thought it was also a good option to have while working for a company. So these are the things that I considered. Yeah, and compensation was also one of the points also. And I
Okay.
also considered my growth over there because in 2 to 3 years, I see myself being an SG2. So
Hmm.
yeah, I feel the work that I can do at Indeed will be like more interesting than what I was looking for. I had options, so yeah, I considered between these companies.
Hmm. So, how much of competitive programming is required for preparing for interviews?
I think before online is like for online assessment, if you do competitive programming, you will definitely have a little edge over others. But if you don't do competitive programming at all, it is also fine because
Hmm.
like all they care about is basically you should have a good knowledge. of DSA, right? And you should be able to solve the problem. So if you will be able to like develop this skill while doing competitive programming, it is good. You can do it. If you can just do it without doing a competitive program, it is also good. Because I also know a lot of folks who like at my previous company or around, like I know few of the people outside my company who didn't do CP at all but are in good companies. So yeah. And I also feel the OAs these days are getting really hard compared to what it was 1 year earlier. So having a little CP background, yeah, definitely help, but it is not necessary. Can pretty
Okay.
much like go through it. After OA, every like I feel after online assessment, the questions are like pretty much easier compared to OA. So yeah, no CP is
Okay.
required. It is optional.
Okay. So, any suggestions for candidates if they have interviews in a few days? What all they need to take care?
Okay, so if you have the interview coming in next 1 or 2 weeks, I think there is not much time to prepare for new topics, right? So I suggest you to like go through whatever you have prepared until now. And also, if you are applying for some company, try to like read their interview experiences also. It will surely help you. And if you don't know where to start from, I think reading interview experiences and following those, like try to just solve the problem which was asked in the interview experience. I think that is a pretty good start or a good like part to that do a revision.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what suggestions you have for like during interview to overcome nervousness?
So basically what I was doing before any interview, so I have followed it like 1 year back also and while I was giving interview in this year. So before 10 to 15 minutes of starting an interview, you should like do nothing. Just open the meeting link or whatever you feel like it is necessary, and just stay calm for 10 to 15 minutes. Do nothing. Just be confident what you have prepared for, and try to like solve the problem as much as you can. Because suppose if someone asks you a problem which you have no idea how to solve it, right? You will get panicked, but it is of no use, because suppose if you stay calm, it may be possible that you will be able to come up with some solution, right? And try to communicate. So that is also always a like number one point you should follow while giving interviews.
Right. So, any suggestions after interview, whether it is a rejection or a success call?
Mhm. Okay, so first we can talk about rejection. Okay, so suppose if you are giving interview for some company and you got rejected somehow, right? So try to like, it is always better to ask the HR like where you were lacking. If she gives a reply pretty good, you can work on those, like where are you lacking. If she is not giving the reply, which is happen most of the time, so you should also try to analyze like what went wrong from your point of view. Like, I'm not saying you will be always 100% right, you will be always 100% able to catch where you are lacking, but at least 10 to 20% you will be able to know, right? Like, yeah, I did this mistake, this may be a case where I got rejected. So work on your, try to identify your skills where you're lacking and try to work on it and make it better.
Right. So, what do you have to say about role of luck?
I feel there, I can say there is a little role of luck. 10%, 20% I can say there is a role of luck. So suppose you are applying for, like what happened in my case, suppose you want to switch your jobs, right? And you want to switch your job at the point where no company is hiring right now, right? So this also there, yeah, this I can say there is also luck. And suppose if you want to like apply for an interview at the time when they are hiring so many people at the same time, you will have a like great, like good chance to like get the interview also. And I see some of the time it also happened, like suppose in the interview round, you have good graphs who are array, I can say, and the interview managed to ask questions related to array. So yeah, it is also a like luck plays a role, but most of the time it is like 80% of the time it is how you have prepared for it.
So, lastly, what pro tips or important lessons of our preparations do you have to share?
Okay, so for preparation, I can say if you are preparing for an interview, uh, it is always better to have a preparation buddy with you. This is what I followed. So I have a college friend. We both started preparing for the interview together. There are few like points which I like to highlight. What are the advantages of it? First of all, you will be not alone in preparing. Okay, and like I was like working full time also, so I had a very like limited amount of time I can give for my preparation. So if two
Mhm.
persons are trying to prepare for an interview, like it is always better you can like divide the topics between two of you. He can learn some other topic, you can learn some other topic, and you guys can discuss also. Because
Mm.
I was not very good at graphs at the starting, right?
Mhm.
So, and suppose the other person is very good at graphs, and
Mm.
suppose he was not good at dynamic programming, but you are. So you can like
Mm.
help each other out. And it was always like you will get demotivated, but in the journey, but the amount of demotivation you get, it will be quite less because
Mm.
you will have someone to discuss, right? Yeah,
Mm.
this is what I can say.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's all we had planned for this session. Thank you, Ankit, for being with us.
Yeah, thank you, Shashank, for having me.